Okay. Good thing I caught this. Okay, so now we are recording this. If you have anybody who you're like, oh my gosh, they need to hear this, you will get the replay. You can listen to this all of the time. Come back to it as many times as you need to. But if you have anybody else, have them reach out to me and get this replay. And I will send it to them. This is for anybody. It's for you if you haven't yet reached your goal. It's for you if you have started and stopped time and time again. If you feel like you've tried everything and nothing works, it's for you if you feel stuck. Maybe you feel nervous to start. Maybe you're not sure where to start. If you are finally ready to go after and reach your goals, and you want to do this as simply and effectively as possible, it is for you. It's also for you if you live a pretty great life and you're really happy with things, but you know that there's just something more. And I will tell you that that desire for more is incredibly powerful. There is no reason that you need to settle for what is in your life. And it doesn't even mean that you want to change your life. You might just want to change how you are approaching life, how you're showing up, the energy that you're giving to life, how you're directing your energy, right? And I was thinking about this as I was going through this webinar. I honestly feel like I live a very average life on the surface, and yet I feel like I live a very extraordinary life from the inside. And what I mean by that is like I have your typical 2.5 kids, right? I got 2 kids, I got the dog. We've got I've been married now for 13 years. 13 years. My husband is better at our anniversaries than I am. We've been married for 13 years. I've got a great marriage. We live in a beautiful average home in a beautiful average community. Everything, right? Like my clothes, I feel like are average. Everything I think is average, and yet I believe my life is extraordinary because I have made the transition of being able to quiet that inner mean girl, of finding abundance in my life, finding confidence in who I am, believing that I can achieve whatever goal I set for myself. And that is what creates so much energy in my life. I have learned to direct my energy to what builds me up and makes me feel good and moves me closer versus what brings me down. Okay. And so this is for you no matter where you are on your journey. This is going to help you. It's going to help you no matter what your goals are. All right. So why is this not moving? Okay. Here's what I want you to know. Most women don't truly believe that they can reach their goals. Most women have goals. Most women want to achieve their goals. Most women will start on the journey to achieve their goals and hope that they will be able to do it. But most women don't truly believe that they can reach their goals. And when this is your foundation, this lack of belief that you can do it, that it's possible, that you are capable, you will always quit on yourself. Maybe not right away, right? Maybe you'll do it. Maybe you'll do it for a couple days. Maybe you'll do it for a couple weeks, but eventually you will quit on yourself. It's inevitable because you don't actually believe that you can get there. So maybe you can overcome the first challenge, but the next one's going to knock you down a little bit further. And then the next one's going to knock you down a little bit harder, and so on until eventually you quit on yourself. This is what I have seen with my clients. This is what I see with women I talk to every single day. This is what I have experienced myself. Okay. So just think about this. What is your level of belief in yourself right now? You don't have to drop that in the chat. You can keep that to yourself. But on a scale of 1 to 10, when you think about your goal, how much do you believe that you can actually achieve your goal? And it's okay if that number is low right now. That is absolutely okay. I hope by the end of this webinar, it moves up a little bit. If not, do not worry about it. You can build your belief over time. And if that feels really hard, this is where a coach or a level of support that can help you through it is so powerful, because I have 100% belief in every single one of my clients, in every single one of you on this webinar, in everybody that I meet. I 100% believe that they can reach their goals. I believe they are capable. I believe that it is possible for them. And sometimes we just need somebody else to hold that belief for us until we can start believing that for ourselves. I do it too. I have goals too that I don't yet believe I can do it. And my coach holds that belief for me. She clears the path, right? She quiets that inner mean girl. She helps me to think about and remember what it is that I want and to keep moving forward. Okay. So what we're going to do today is talk about what is getting in your way, why you're quitting on yourself. I'm going to walk you through. I kept this very simple in terms of threes. We're going to talk about the 3 different ways that you are quitting on yourself. I have boiled this down from what I see and what I've experienced, that there are 3 main ways that we quit on ourselves. So what I want you to do as we go through this is to really think about which one of these really resonates with you. What comes up for you? What do you feel like maybe you're doing them all, and that's fine. That is okay. We all do. But maybe which one it feels like the most prominent in your life. I'm going to talk you through 3 reasons why you are quitting on yourself. And then I'm going to take you through 3 strategies to help you to stop quitting on yourself. We're keeping it very simple. Again, simple is the key here. Who loves simple? Tell me in the chat if you love simple. I do. Lives are too busy. It's too complicated. We want to simplify everything. Okay. So, and I'm sorry, I do talk very fast. And I have a lot that I want to cover. If I'm going too fast, please let me know and I will try to slow it down for you. But I am a very animated person sometimes and very passionate, especially about this topic. Okay, so before we dive in, like I said early on, that one sentence, one thought, one shift, one difference in perspective can be a game changer for you. I want you to anchor yourself in these 3 sentences, these 3 thoughts, these 3 shifts as we go through the rest of this presentation. These are your truth. Whether you believe it yet or not, this is your truth. Where you are right now is exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. Too often, especially for us women, we should on ourselves. We believe that we should be farther along. We shouldn't be where we are. We should have started a while ago. We should have done X, Y, and Z. It's not true. Everything that you have done has brought you to this moment. There are things that have brought you to this moment that you can celebrate, and there are things that you can learn from. But the reality is, where you are right now is exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. That doesn't mean that you don't want to change. It doesn't mean that you can't change. It's just that where you are right now is exactly where you are meant to be right now. When you can notice that and bring awareness to that and to accept that without judgment of things that you haven't done in the past or you did do that brought you here, what ends up happening is you release the pressure of resisting where you are. So many of us, myself included, I did this for 20 plus years. I was resisting where I was. I spent so much time and energy fighting the fact that I was here, that this was my body, that I weighed this much, that I was doing these things, that I wasn't doing these other things, that I couldn't do this, that these women were more confident than I was. I spent so much time resisting where I was that I wasn't focusing on what I could do, what would move me closer to where I want to be. Okay. So anchor yourself in the fact that where you are right now is exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. Anchor yourself in what you want being possible. No matter what your goal is, no matter how many things you have tried in the past, no matter how long you have been working towards this, it is possible and you are capable. Really think about this. I want you to really ground yourself in the belief that it's possible, that you are capable. Maybe you haven't done it yet, but you can do it. And you are here getting support that you need to do it. You've already taken a humongous step being here by gaining this perspective, by gaining this knowledge, so that you can go out and start to apply it into your life. Okay, so these are your anchors. All right, so now we're going to dive in to the ways that you are quitting on yourself. Okay, if any questions come up along this, if anything resonates with you, drop comments in the chat, drop questions in the chat. Right now, I'm going to walk you through the 3 main ways that we quit on ourselves. Yes, I think that sometimes stands in our way are unrealistic goals and not knowing what those goals are. Yes, and we're going to talk about that a bit here, about what our goals really are versus, or what our goals are on the surface versus like the underlying goals. And when you get clear on those underlying goals, things open up a little bit more here. Okay, the first way that you quit on yourself are the big quits. And all of these, I'm just naming them because that's how I see them. They're not technical terms out in the world, but for me, they are. Big quits. This is when you are consciously quitting on yourself. You have a goal, you feel motivated to take steps towards that goal, you start, you're going to the gym. For New Year's resolutions, I think are the perfect example of this, right? Like the gym is super crowded the first couple weeks of January, and then slowly it like gets less and less crowded, and then by like Easter time or spring break time, like it's empty. Okay, like you're taking steps towards something that you really want, and then eventually you quit, you give up. Doesn't happen any longer. Okay, what these sound like, and this is really important, is to think about what these sound like in your brain. This is going to tie in that inner mean girl, your mindset. Most of us jump over the mindset piece. This is the biggest thing I see missing. This is why I focus on it so much with my clients. It's because it is the driver of everything that we do. Is the way that we are thinking about things, the way we, what we are believing is possible, what we are believing we are capable of, comes from that voice inside our head. So think about the big quits, like when you have quit on something, what does it sound like for you? These are some of the examples that I came up with from my own experience, from working with so many women. It's, I'm done. I can't do it. It's not working. I don't have the time. I'm too busy. It's too hard. These things are like hard stops. I'm done. I can't do it. Nope, sorry, not for me. And one thing I do want to point out is when we're talking about these quits, I'm talking about you have a goal in mind and you really want to achieve that goal and you are stopping yourself along the way. That is very different than you have a goal in mind and you're working towards that goal. And over time, you realize that's not what you want anymore. Maybe you change, you evolve, things in your life change, and that no longer is a priority for you. And so you switch course to another goal. That is not quitting on yourself. That is like reevaluating your life. Right? Like maybe you work your way up in a job and then you're like, wait, this was my goal, but it's not anymore. My goal is more balance or more flexibility or friendships, right? Like we all have friends that we've really worked hard and we've built this friendship and it's been really great for certain times in our lives. And then we're like, you know what? This friendship is not like really working for me anymore. It's not where I want to put my time and energy. And so we just like pull ourselves back because that benefits us, right? When we are quitting on ourselves, it's not benefiting us in terms of going after the things that we really want in our lives. Okay, so I just want to make that very clear. But these are the big quits, like the hard stops. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't believe in myself enough. I don't believe that it's possible. And these may be some of the ways that they're showing up for you. How big quits feel. Feelings are also very important. They're another thing that we try to jump over, that we don't want to acknowledge, that we don't pay attention to. But our feelings are so valuable. Our feelings come from the way that we are thinking about things. They come from how we're talking to ourselves, right? So when you are telling yourself, I can't, I'm done, I don't have the time, it's not working, you may feel frustrated. You may feel challenged or uncomfortable. You may doubt yourself. You may feel like a great level of uncertainty. Like, I don't know if I can do this. You might feel disappointed or resentful. Resentful has come up a lot with my clients. Like they resent the fact that they have gotten to this point, that they didn't do things earlier, that they shouldn't be here. And what that ends up doing, if you follow these feelings, you will quit on yourself. It's just how it is. Your thoughts create emotional responses in your body, your feelings, and our feelings are what drive us into action or keep us from taking action. These feelings, these frustrated feelings, these uncomfortable feelings, the doubt, the uncertainty, the disappointment, the resentfulness will cause you to quit on yourself. Okay, so just notice like, where are the big quits coming up for you? What are those stories that the big quits are telling you? How are they making you feel? Start to think about this for your own life. The second way we quit on ourselves, I think this one you want to pay particular attention to because they are the small, subtle ways that we quit on ourselves, these mini quits. These mini quits, we don't even realize that we're doing them, right? Like the big quits, we know, I'm done, can't do it anymore, whatever, however that comes up for you. The mini quits often go unnoticed. So we want to bring that awareness here. We want to notice where are we mini quitting on ourselves, because this is the thing. So often we feel like we're working so hard towards our goals. We've been at it for so long. We're doing all of the work and we're not getting the results. And then we look at it and we find all of these mini quits along the way. But when you're not aware of the mini quits, you just think you're putting in the work and not getting the results. It's that like, I've tried everything and nothing works sort of mentality. So mini quits may sound like, I don't feel like it. I'll do it later. I'm not in the mood. I'm not motivated. I'll start again on Monday, or I'll start Monday. Right? All of these little things that come up for you. And again, these may sound different for you. These are just to give you an idea. Your work here is to think about, how does this relate to me? What do my mini quits sound like? The clearer you can get on how you're talking to yourself, what these mini quits sound like for you, the more aware you'll be when they pop up. The easier it'll be for you to walk yourself through them, to put an end to them, to stop quitting on yourself. They may feel like you are unmotivated. This is a good one, okay? I want you to really think about this. Mini quits feel comfortable. It feels comfortable to go sit on the couch instead of going to the gym. It feels comfortable to stay in bed versus getting up with your alarm. And these are some examples, right, of these mini quits. It's like you tell yourself you're going to do something. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to work out. I'm going to get up early and like have some time to myself. I'm going to get up early and I'm going to journal. I'm going to get up early and start the day on my time, just as an example. And then the alarm goes off and you snooze it, and then you snooze it again, and then you snooze it again. And then eventually you turn it off. It's like you made a decision and then you decided to do something different in that moment because you didn't feel like it. It's more comfortable to not do the thing that you said you were going to do than to do it. That is a mini quit. You're doubtful. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a person who can get up early. I don't know if I can be a person who can consistently get to the gym. I don't know if I'm the person who can like do the project without procrastinating, right? However this may come up for you. You may feel complacent, like, it's fine. I think the worst thing that we can tell ourselves is like, we're fine. It's fine. It's not true. You're lying to yourself. It's not fine. And maybe it is, but very rarely do I think fine is used in a positive way, right? We usually use it as like, I don't really want to talk about this. I don't want to dig into it. I don't want to acknowledge it. I don't want to be honest with myself. So you feel a little complacent. It may also feel like guilt because you told yourself that you were going to do this thing that you wanted to do and then you didn't do it. So a little bit of guilt creeps in, right? I said I was going to get up and I was going to work out. I was going to get up and I was going to, do some work and then spend time with the kids. And then I didn't do it. And now I'm frustrated and all of these other things, right? It creates this sort of negative ripple in your life. Okay. The last way that we quit on ourselves is what I'm calling advanced quits. You quit on yourself in advance. You don't even give yourself the chance to go after your goal because you don't actually believe that you can do it, that it's possible, that you are capable. Whatever that story is, right, that you're telling yourself, that lack of belief comes in and takes over before you even give yourself a chance. Okay, so think about this. Where have you done this? What has come up for you? What have you missed out on because you didn't do this, right? I've had a number of clients now that have scheduled a free consultation with me and then canceled before that consultation. And then eventually they've come back. One of my clients scheduled 3 consultations and canceled all 3 of them before she actually got on a call with me. And her thought was like, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know how you're going to help me. I don't know what I even want. She was quitting on herself before she even gave herself the opportunity to even get help to find out what she wanted, to find out how she could do it, to find out what was possible and what she was capable of, right? 3 times she canceled a call. 3 times. We've now been working together for like a year. And she just keeps like moving her goals. She achieves them. She sets herself bigger goals, right? We quit on ourselves in advance before we even give ourselves the opportunity. Where are you quitting on yourself before you even give yourself a chance? I'm a total mini quit girl. Yeah. You know what? I found myself like mini quitting even as I was preparing for this webinar. I had this idea. I was like, this is a brilliant idea. Everybody needs to know this information. And what I wrote, like all of the emails for it, I was so inspired. I knew exactly what was going to help everybody, what women needed to know. But actually writing this presentation, do you know how many times I told myself, I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. I don't feel like doing it. And every time I recognized it, I heard the story because I am so aware of my mini quits that I was like, no, I'm not going to get to it later. I'm going to do it now. And what that allowed me to do was focus my energy on creating the best, most valuable content for you. And what that did was when I focused my energy on what do they need to hear? Where are they struggling? Where have I struggled? Where am I struggling right now? Because I want to mini quit on myself. I was able to put even more value into this and give you even more. When you pull yourself out of the mini quits and refocus your energy, you will change your habits. You will change the confidence that you have in yourself, the way that you show up for yourself, your entire life. I'm telling you, this works. Okay. So the advanced quits, they may sound like I'm too busy. I don't have the time to go after this goal yet. I'll get there. right? I'll get to it when life slows down. I'll get to it when the kids are back in school. I'll get to it when the holidays are over. I know I keep giving examples, but I think it's so helpful for you. I have a client who joined my program in December, yeah, the beginning of December. And her first thought was, I'll start in January. And I asked her why. Why are you going to wait to start until January? And everything came up for her. It was like, holidays and it's busy and the kids and travel and all of this stuff. And I was like, perfect. It's the perfect time to start. Because if you can do this when life is busy, it's going to be so much easier when life calms down. But what we do is we wait for life to calm down, and life never calms down. We fill our lives with all of the things that we love, that make us super happy, that we want to do. Life never calms down. Okay. That is an advanced quit. When you tell yourself that, you're just not believing that you can handle it. You're not believing that you're the type of person who can be busy and still focus yourself and meet your goals. That is the only way to meet your goals, is to prove to yourself that you can do it when it's busy. You are advanced quitting on yourself if you believe that you're just not the kind of person who can, or who will, or who is. I used to believe that there were confident women born into this world, and then there was the rest of us that just weren't dealt that card. Some people are naturally confident. I will give them that. It is the way that they are thinking about themselves and what they believe about themselves. And what I learned is that any of us can do that. Any of us can find that confidence in us. We all have that inner mean girl. We also all have a confident self. Most of us, that inner mean girl is just a little bit louder. So when we quiet her down, the confident self gets a little bit louder. Okay. And I'll never be able to. It's a lie. You're lying to yourself. You'll never be able to. You just haven't figured out how to do it yet. You can figure it out. We can all figure it out. You just haven't done it yet. You have to give yourself the chance. Advanced quits. Yeah, procrastinating. Procrastinating comes up a lot for my clients. But when you know that, that's the awareness, right? Where are you procrastinating? What does that sound like? Why are you procrastinating? Probably because you are avoiding a feeling. That's why most of us procrastinate, right? Advanced quits can feel discouraging. You might feel scared, doubtful. You might even feel defeated. This is that, like, I've tried this before. I'm not the type of person that can do it. I've never been able to do it. You already feel defeated because of things that you have tried in your past. Your past does not dictate your future. You can take everything that you have done in your past and you can use that to show, look how much you have tried. Look how much I know that doesn't work for me. Look at all of these things that I don't want in my life, right? When my clients are like, I've tried everything and nothing works, or the women that I talk to on consultation calls, I'm like, great, you know so much. You have so much information of what you don't want in your life. Don't use that against yourself. Don't use that to beat yourself down, to feel defeated, to take away any confidence that you may have that it's possible. Use that to your advantage. When it comes to driving on the thruway and city traffic, you don't like to drive on the freeway and city traffic? Is that what you're saying? An advanced quit. I love that though, because that might be holding you back from a lot of things. Right? Like, does that prevent you from maybe going out with friends or going to experience some things in life? Right? So we're going to talk about how you can overcome that. Okay. I want to bring you back to the facts, right? Because again, we all have that inner mean girl. We have the stories that we tell ourselves. We have the things that we believe to be true. I want to ground you in the facts. You are not alone. There are people on this call right now that are going through exactly what you are going through. We all have these quits, right? We do this all of the time. This is a normal part of the process. Until you know how to stop quitting on yourself, until you recognize how you are quitting on yourself, is it an advanced quit? Is it the mini quits? Is it the big ones? Until you know that, you can't change it. But this is a normal part of the process. And what you're doing right now is showing yourself where you are quitting on yourself and how you can overcome it. Okay. Nothing has gone wrong. Even if you have quit on yourself 1,000 times in the past, 1,000,000 times in the past, you've lost count. Nothing has gone wrong. You are right where you are meant to be. You have done everything right until this point because you have done things that have worked, and maybe you're still doing them, and maybe you just forgot along the way, but you can go back and be like, oh yeah, that did work for me. And you have done things that haven't worked, and you can keep moving forward knowing that doesn't work for me. You are not done. You are not done. Even if you have quit on yourself over and over again, if you have a desire for change in your life, if you know, like, I want to be living my life with more energy, I want this habit to be a part of my life, even if that's like, I want to be able to sit on the couch and not feel guilty, no matter what it is. If you have something that you want to change, it is there, it is meant to be there, and you are meant to go after it. You are not done. You are not done. Think about that. Tell yourself that. I'm not done. I'm not done. There's too much in my life that I have yet to create. There's too much in my life that I have yet to impact. I'm not done. Think about what will happen when you feel confident in yourself, when you have the habits that you want, when you have the life that you're living, when you are showing up for your life every day in the way that you want to. Think about the impact that that will have, not only on yourself, but on those around you, on your kids, on your partner, on your coworkers, on your best friend. I see this with my clients. They are bringing people along in their journey because they are now equipped to handle things so differently than they have in the past. And one by one, they're bringing people along. And that is the impact that we want to have in this world. I'm not done either. This is why I have like so much passion about getting this stuff out into the world. I will continue to put things out in the world because I am not done. There are too many women in this world that don't believe in themselves, that are beating themselves up. They're letting their inner mean girl win. They're quitting on themselves. They're holding themselves back. I am not done. You are not done either. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. You just need to believe that you are not done, that it is possible, that you are capable, and that where you are right now is exactly where you are meant to be. You have to find safety in the fact that you are here and that it is okay, even if the change that you want to create is big. You're still safe exactly where you are right now. All right, so why we quit on ourselves. 3 big whys as to how we quit on ourselves. Again, drop comments of like what comes up for you when you hear this. Okay, the first reason that we quit on ourselves, I just need to move. I don't know if you guys can see the chat, but anyway, I just had to move it out of the way. The first reason is the unknown. As human beings, we have a natural resistance to the unknown. We perceive that as a lack of control. We want to know all of the details. We want to know exactly how it's going to happen, what we need to do. Show me all of the steps and I'll do the steps, right? It's what we learn from a very early age. Like if you think about school, we are taught like, here's how you do it. This is what you need. This is what I need from you. Even now, like I'm helping my kids. I'll be honest, sometimes I have to like Google how to help my 9-year-old with his math homework, but that's the way it is, right? But even that, I can find those steps on Google, right? Like we want to know the step-by-step of how to do things. But when I help him, the teachers are like, show me how you got here, right? We want to see how you did this. So when we go to create change in our lives, we want to know how to do it. Okay? The unknown is scary to us. Total control freak. You're not alone. Right? Nothing has gone wrong. We all think that we want all of this control. Okay? The reality is, where is this going? Okay, here's the reality. When I told you one thought, one sentence, one shift, one perspective can change everything, maybe this is it for you. The reality is you never know the how until you are there. We know, let's take weight loss for an example. In order to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. That is scientifically how you lose weight. There are a million ways that you can be in a calorie deficit. You don't know what works for you. I don't know what works for you, right? The next person doesn't know. Your doctor doesn't know. Your nutritionist doesn't know. Nobody knows what works for you until you do it. That may mean you have to try things that don't work in order to find out what does work. The problem is we try things, they don't work, and we think we failed. We quit on ourselves. We don't think it's possible. You don't know how to do it until you do it, until you get there. And you can't get there until you stop quitting on yourself. It's the only way. And those of you who have joined this webinar from my emails, I sent an email the other day, if you saw it, about my daughter and her preschool and how they used to like change the whole school into this like bear hunt. And she would sing for weeks before and weeks after the bear hunt song, like, we can't go over it, can't go under it, you got to go through it. Through is the only way. It is the only way. And this is going to come up in a couple of these things. It's the only way. We have, oh wait, did I? Yeah, okay. So we have to go through it. This leads us into the second thing, the discomfort. We have a natural desire to feel good. We always want to feel good. The reality is about 50% of the time of life, you're not going to feel good. If you think about, I think the easiest way to think about life, and this came from my coach, is that life is 50-50. You're going to have 50% of days that are good, that you are motivated, that you feel inspired, that things are going well, that you're moving closer to your goals, you're celebrating wins, and you're going to have 50% of the days that are challenging, where you don't feel good, where life is happening, where you feel sad, where something happens, where you feel like you've fallen off track, whatever, you feel challenged, all of these things aren't going your ways. You try things and they don't work, 50-50. But we believe that we always want to feel good. There is a comfort that we seek in what we know. Our brains like the comfort of everything it knows. Where we are right now, the things that we do on a daily basis, the way that we approach life, we like what we know. It feels more comfortable to not do things sometimes. Doing new things, going after our goals, trying something out, going through the discomfort is hard. But the only way is through. It's the only way. And discomfort means that you are doing it right. When you feel uncomfortable, I want you to take that as a sign of you are doing something right. Things are moving you in a new direction. And here's another little nugget for you to put in your back pocket, right? These shifts, these thoughts, these sentences that could change you. The reality of discomfort is that you are choosing discomfort either way. There's the discomfort of going through change, doing something new, stepping outside of your comfort zone that most of us avoid. We want to go back and feel comfortable where we are. So we avoid the discomfort of the unknown, of doing something differently. But the reality is you are just choosing a longer term discomfort, because where you are right now is not where you want to be. That's why you have this goal. It's why there's something else out there. You have this desire in you, and you're choosing to not go after it. You're quitting on yourself, and that is only uncomfortable for a longer period of time. The discomfort of change is temporary. It will feel uncomfortable until you put in the reps, and then it becomes who you are and what you do, and it becomes easy and simpler and more effective. You have to go through it. It's the only way. The third thing, we've talked about this throughout so far, your inner mean girl, your critic, your judge, your Jezebel, whatever you want to call it. This is your primitive brain. It's that voice inside of your head whose primary job is to keep you safe, right? It's that bubble of what you know. It's the bubble of your comfort zone. Anything that even tiptoes you close to the line, your inner mean girl is going to be like, hold up. I don't know about that. Probably don't want to do that. Feels too hard. You can't do that. Don't you want to just go sit on the couch? I wouldn't go over there. You can't do it. You're not going to be able to keep up with it. You've never been able to. You're too busy. You're too tired. All of the things. This is where your inner mean girl comes in and takes over. But here's the thing. That primitive brain served its purpose when we were like out hunting and running from tigers. You are not running from tigers anymore. That inner mean girl is seeking safety only by holding you back from creating the habits, the confidence, and the life that you want. She's not seeing how good it is on the other side. She's seeing how comfortable the known is on this side. Okay. Your inner mean girl is also just little pieces of the story that you've picked up along the way. Right? I tell this often is growing up from a young age, like 11, 12 years old, I had binders in my room of all of like the magazine articles. I would go and I'd get like the Shape and the Self and the Women's Health and whatever magazines, right? That told me everything that I needed to do to like lose the weight and have my body look this way and feel more confident and keep the weight off and all of this stuff. And I would rip them all out and I'd have binders in my room of like meal plans and workout routines and this and that. And what I ended up doing was taking little bits and pieces of each of those articles, each of those stories, and formulating a story of my inner mean girl that I needed to look a certain way, that I needed to do certain things, that this was perfection, right? This was what would make me confident, that only when I looked like this would I feel good, that this was good and this was bad. All of these things formulated a story that I believed for a very long time was true, but only because I was repeating it to myself so many times. When you repeat something to yourself over and over and over again, you will believe it to be true. It is not your truth. Your inner mean girl is just sentences in your head that you have chosen to believe. You can rewrite those sentences at any point. You have to learn to quiet her down. What are the sentences that you tell yourself that make you feel defeated, that hold you back, that take you out of like moving yourself closer to your goals? What are you telling yourself and why? Why are you choosing those stories? That's also something that you can take with you. I'm choosing to tell myself this. Everything that goes through your head, you're choosing to tell yourself that. When you focus your energy, your time and energy on stories that bring you down, you will be brought down. So notice where you are focusing your time and energy and what you are believing to be true. Okay, I'm going to anchor you again in another truth, right? We've got the inner mean girl there. She's telling you a bunch of things. I'm going to anchor you in truth. Whenever you have a desire for change, no matter what that change is in your life, when you have a desire for change and you finally have the courage to go after it, and maybe that courage happens for you quickly, amazing. Build on that. You've got that in there. You can take action quickly. Awesome. Some of us, that is not the case. But when you have the courage to take action towards your goals, life is going to bring you new challenges. Challenge after challenge is going to come your way. Sometimes those challenges may have always been there and you just weren't aware that they were even there because you weren't stepping yourself closer to where you actually want to be. But the reality is challenges will come your way. It is a part of the process. You can't create change without overcoming or coming up against and overcoming challenges. It's a part of the process. And like I said earlier, if you have a goal, you have a desire within you, you are meant to go after that. Not everybody has a desire for change, but you do. It's why you're here. You are meant to go after that. And you are capable of handling any challenge that comes your way. Okay, so anchor yourself in that. There are going to be new challenges. There are meant to be new challenges. It's part of the process, and I am capable of handling them. All right, so 3 strategies to help you to stop quitting on yourself. And I know I said this would be about an hour. We're going to probably be going over a little bit. If you need to drop off, by all means, you can drop off and you'll get the replay of this minus the first couple minutes. But if you can stay on, I encourage you to stay on. I booked an extra half an hour for any questions or anything. So I have the time. I will try to run through this quickly. We're going to go through 3 strategies to help you stop quitting on yourself. And then I'm going to invite you to join me in Confident Mind and Body. I'll tell you about that. But let me go through these strategies for you so that you can take them and start to implement them. The first strategy is that you need to start to make decisions based on why you want this change, what this change is going to create for you. What is on the other side of this change? What impact will this have in your life, on you, on others, and how you show up, on the work that you do? Really get clear on why you want this. I had a client who I think had the most incredible, realistic why. Like when we talked about, Teresa, I think it was you that mentioned unrealistic goals. Her goal, well, she first came to me wanting to lose weight. A lot of women do. And that is always a surface level goal. That is not to say you can't have a weight loss goal. Many of us do, but it's about why you want to lose weight. What will that mean to you when you lose that weight? And for this client, she said the reason why she wanted to lose weight was because she didn't want to feel like she was going to die in the ball pit at the trampoline park. She wanted to take her son or her nephew, sorry, she wanted to take her nephew to the trampoline park and be able to enjoy that time with him and not feel like she was going to die in the foam pit. And if any of you have been to a trampoline park, you know what she's talking about. It resonated so clearly with me. I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Those things are impossible to get out of. They feel so hard. And she was like, yeah. And every time I don't want to go in there. And he's like, come on, come on, come on. And she's like, every time I feel like that's the end. And she wanted to feel confident enough to get herself out of that. So that is how clear I want you to think about your why. What is your why? Why is that important to you? What will it mean for you? Okay, so you're going to make decisions based on your why, and then you're going to honor those decisions. I have become a ninja at honoring the decisions that I make. I think it is the number one thing that makes me feel so confident and capable of achieving any goal that I set for myself is because I honor the decisions that I make. I am a Peloton rider. I know many of you are as well. I do my stack, my workouts. I pick them out at night because it's easier for me to just get up in the morning and do them. And there are some mornings where I'm like, why did I pick this? I don't really feel like it. I don't want to do this one. And I always bring myself back to, I decided I was going to do this and I'm going to do it. The same with our dinners. I plan probably about 4 dinners each week for my family. And I just decide in advance, like this is what we're having each night. I do the grocery shopping. I pick up everything that I need. And then that's just what we have. It's no like, I'm not in the mood for this. I don't feel like it. No, like I made the decision and that's what we do. And the reason why I have gotten so good at this is because I have seen the time and the energy and the stress that it saves me. When you make decisions in advance and you honor these decisions, you no longer have to fight with yourself in that moment. You no longer have to think about like, what do I want to do? Why do I want to do it? And then battle that inner mean girl when she tells you that you don't feel like it, that you should do this, but you don't want to. You just make them and then you honor them. And there will be times where you don't honor them. And that is where you release any judgment. You don't beat yourself up. You don't criticize yourself. You don't tell yourself that you can't do it. See, I told you. No, you just acknowledge like, oh, yeah, I didn't honor this decision. You can get curious about that. Why not? What was going on? Why did I decide this and then decide not to? And then You just decide you're going to honor the next decision. If you can get good at this, there is nothing that you can't do. I promise you that. When you get good at this, you will have so much more time and energy. We have busy schedules, right? Like I told you, I've got 2 kids. I've got a busy schedule. My kids have busy schedules. We like to do all of the things. And yet I feel like I have luxurious amounts of time to do things that I want to do because I no longer spend time and energy on things that don't serve me. I no longer spend time and energy battling decisions in my head. I just decide and then I honor them. You can do that too. Okay, number 2. This was great info. I have to drop. Okay, some people have to drop off the call. Totally get that. Number 2, anticipate discomfort. We know discomfort is going to be there. You want to create change. You're doing something new. It will feel uncomfortable at first. I love to add that at first. Of course, you don't yet know how to do it. It will feel uncomfortable in the beginning. It won't always feel that way. If you anticipate it, if you prepare your brain for it, if you let that inner mean girl know, like, hey, we're doing something different. I hear what you're saying. I'm going to go through this. Things will change. One of my first coaches said the worst thing that can happen to us is to feeling negative emotion. And I want you to think about that. It's the worst thing that can happen to us. We are so afraid to feel negative emotions. It's just an emotion. It's just a vibration in your body. It's the way that you feel. Nothing has gone wrong. It's part of the human experience. And when you are creating change in your life, when you are creating change for the better, especially, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Allow yourself to feel uncomfortable. Remind yourself that discomfort means you are changing. Discomfort means progress. It's all part of the puzzle. You can't create a puzzle without going through the discomfort. You have to figure out how it all fits together. And the way that you do that is to welcome the discomfort, to notice it's there, to become very friendly with it, right? Like I like to say, like, same with the inner mean girl, like everybody's welcome to my party. I get to determine who I talk to. I don't want to spend time with my inner mean girl anymore. I hear her. She's still there. I move myself over and I find my confidence up. Welcome the discomfort. Acknowledge that it's there. Sit with it for as long as you need to. There's no right amount of time, right? You don't need to like be like, oh my gosh, I spent 5 minutes on it and it wasn't enough. I still feel uncomfortable. You can spend days on it. There was one time, actually pretty recently, was working with my coach and I was just in this place where I'm like, I know why I feel this way. I know what I'm thinking about this. I know what I want to do and I'm taking action. I still feel this way. And it was probably a good week or 2 that I just felt discomfort. I knew what I was thinking. Even when I would like move myself over, it still felt that way. But when you allow yourself to sit with it, eventually it goes away because you prove to yourself that you're capable of handling it. You're capable of handling negative emotions. It's the worst part of the process. It's just feeling a negative emotion. You can do that. It's not so bad, but you just have to prove to yourself that you can do it. All right, number 3. Why is this not clicking? Oh no, there we go. Okay, number 3, celebrate your wins. Celebrate every step of the way, okay? One of my clients, she's like, oh my gosh, I've never celebrated myself before. And this is what we do every week, all of my clients. What's going well? What are you proud of? What are you celebrating this week, right? We have to get good at celebrating our wins. Every step you take is progress. And when you look for the things that are working, the things that you're doing, you showed up for yourself. Even if it didn't work, you showed up for yourself and you're proud about that. You will continue to find things to celebrate. And what that's going to do is motivate you and inspire you to take action. So you want to celebrate your wins and you want to learn from your failures. Most of us do things, we fail, things don't work, we give up, we quit on ourselves. You have to learn from them. When we think about life being 50-50, there will be things that you do that work, and then there's going to be things that you do that don't work. And you want to acknowledge both of them, and you want to move forward from both of them. If you feel like you have tried everything and nothing has worked, if you feel stuck, if you feel like there's nothing else out there, learn from the things that you've done. What else could you do? Sometimes it's not even doing something different, it's changing your mindset about it. One of my clients is doing, she's like, I'm doing all of the same things. I'm doing it from a completely different mindset, and everything has changed for her. She's like, this feels easy. Like, I can do this. She didn't think she'd be able to do all of these things. And I think she's like 2 months into my program, and she's like, I'm ready for more. Like, I can do more. I can do more because of the shift in her mindset. Okay. So what is working? It may be something you're doing. It may be something that you're thinking. It may be the belief that it's possible that is working for you. What's not working? Where have you failed along the way? It may just be that you gave up belief in yourself. What if you brought yourself back to, hey, I'm where I am right now. It's where I'm meant to be. It's possible and I'm capable. Where would you be then? Celebrate your wins and learn from your failures. Okay, I'm going to anchor you again here. We often think about success as like a number on the scale, an amount in our bank account, a job title, right? I want you to think about success as deciding what you want and being willing to go after it and to stick with it until you get there. That is success. That is extraordinary success. Because when you do that, when you figure out the way that works for you, that nobody can take away from you, you will have that success for the rest of your life. You will have the mindset, you will have the actions, you will have the ability to create what you want because you didn't quit on yourself. That is success. You can have millions of dollars in your bank account and not feel successful, and you can have $2 in your bank account and feel successful. It's not the money, it's not the job title, it's not the number on the scale. That is not success. Success is your ability, your willingness, your belief in yourself to set a goal and to go after it. That's success. What does that change for you when you think about success that way? What do you need to believe about yourself to stick with something long enough to make it yours? It's possible. And when you clear out that junk, when you quiet that inner mean girl and really focus your time and energy, it's going to happen faster than you ever thought that it could. Okay. So anchor yourself in that success. Okay. There are 3 things, only ever 3 things that stand in the way of you reaching your goals. It's your willingness to figure it out, your willingness to step into the unknown without knowing all of the little steps that are going to get you there. It's like if you were crossing a stream and there's like a rock there and a rock there and one over there. And it's like, you've got to figure out like how you're going to get there. But your willingness to figure it out will always get you to the other side. Your willingness to go through discomfort. You have to be willing to allow yourself to feel uncomfortable in order to feel comfortable with your goals, in order to feel comfortable in the habits that you've created for yourself, in the confidence that you have built, in the life that you have built, knowing that you have everything you need to maintain it. And you have to be willing to celebrate your progress, to celebrate every step of the way, every pound lost, every time you show up at the gym, every meal you cook, every time you stop quitting on yourself, every time you remember that it is possible and that you are capable and you anchor yourself in that belief, every time you accept where you are now without judgment, that is progress. Celebrate that and learn from the things that don't work. Don't beat yourself up. Don't criticize yourself. Don't get all judgy about it. Just learn from it. Learn from what doesn't work. Use it to move yourself forward. When you do that, you will propel yourself forward. I promise you, you will propel yourself forward. And we're going to bring it back here. You are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. You are here. You have a goal. You signed yourself up for this. You're getting all of the information that you need. You are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. And that change is possible for you. Whatever it is that you want to change, it is possible for you. You are capable of achieving it. And it is so worth it. It is so worth it. The discomfort, the unknown, all of the battles you've previously had with that inner mean girl, it will be worth it. When you remember that it is possible and you are worth it and you can do it, it will be worth it. And I can help you through this. If you have been struggling with this, I can help you through this. I have helped hundreds of women through this, and I can help you too. So don't feel like you have to do it alone. Don't be scared to do it alone, but don't feel like you have to do it alone. Find support. Like if it's not me, find other support. If you're like, wait a minute, like I hear this, but like maybe like I'm just not your person, that's okay. Get yourself the support that you need. Don't feel like you have to do this alone, okay? This is so valuable. You are so valuable for your life, for everybody around you. It is worth it for you to go through this, okay? So I want to walk you through. Actually, I told you that one sentence, one thought, one shift could change things for you. These are some of the things that my clients have been anchoring themselves in. Some of the things that have completely shifted the way that they are doing things, these simple sentences. So I wanted to offer them to you in case you needed a place to start. Okay? These are thoughts from my clients that they are taking with them on their journey. I can love my body and want to change my body. I can love it. No matter how much I want to change it, I can still love the body that I have. This can be simple. This is just what I do now. Just deciding, this is just what I do. This is who I am. This is just what I do. You can decide that right now. I'm just no longer quitting on myself. I'm deciding to take quitting off the table. You can decide that. I love my body enough to take care of it. That's so powerful. I love my body enough to take care of it. I love my goal enough to go after it. Even a small amount of time benefits me. I'm letting go of it's not enough. Even a small amount of time benefits me. Everyone benefits when I take care of me. Everyone benefits when you go after your goal. When you prove to yourself what is possible and what you are capable of, everybody benefits. It's the difference of one decision. The difference of what lifts me up versus what brings me down. If any of these resonate with you, take them with you. Oh, sorry. Take them with you. Let them be your thoughts. Let them be your shifts. Let them be that change in perspective that you need. Or if something else came up for you, take that with you. Take something with you. That's the bottom line. Okay. So now I want to invite you to join me in Confident Mind and Body. What I went through today is a lot of information. It's what I do with my clients. It's also the tip of the iceberg. This is scratching the surface of what is available to you. The benefit of having a coach is that we can hear things, like we can recognize these quits and we can hear the thoughts in our head, and a coach can see the thoughts that we're having that we're not even aware of. They can see the quits that we're making, that we're the mini quits, the big quits, the advanced quits. A coach can see that without us seeing it ourselves. That is what I do with my clients. It's what I would do for you. So I invite you to join me in Confident Mind and Body. A free consultation is the very first step. This is where we can get really clear on like, what is your goal? What really is your goal and why is that goal important to you? And then I can help you see what's really been standing in your way, the things that you aren't seeing yourself. This is where we identify the actual problem. And then we formulate a plan for you to overcome that problem. It all happens on this consultation call. We meet for about an hour and we just talk through things. You don't have to prepare anything. You just show up for the call and I talk with you. I ask you questions. I get to know you and what you want, where you are now, and how we get you from one place to the other. Okay? It may not be the things that you have tried in the past. It may not be the things that you think it is. Oftentimes it's not. That's my job, to help you see what you're not seeing. So I invite you, if this was impactful for you, if you had some realizations, if this was helpful, if you're like, oh my gosh, this is where I'm quitting on myself, I'm a mini quitter, I'm an advanced quitter, whatever it is, I can help you through that. Schedule this call. Get more value to put into your life, to spread to other people. Join Confident Mind and Body. I guarantee you, like I always guarantee, like you will leave here a different person. You will leave with a different mindset. You will leave with different confidence. You will create different habits and see yourself differently. So what is Confident Mind and Body? Confident Mind and Body is 6 months of one-on-one coaching. It's me and you for 6 months. We specifically design a program for you. I thoroughly believe that nobody is alike in this world. You are an individual with an individual body, with individual goals, with an individual lifestyle, with individual time available to you, and we customize an approach for you. And during this time, we build your belief in what is possible. We build your courage to overcome the challenges, to go through the discomfort, to know what you are capable of. And we build your confidence to quiet that inner mean girl and to change your life, to change your habits, to change your confidence, to change your life. That inner mean girl, she will always be there. I'm not going to ever tell you we're going to get rid of her. It's not possible. That's your primitive brain. She will always be there. But what I do is to help you learn how to quiet her down, to hear her stories and not react to them, right? Too much of the time we're in this like reaction mode that spirals us. It's like the hamster wheel. We pull ourselves back so that you gain the confidence to move yourself forward in a calm, manageable way. The way you create your habits, here's another one that you can take with you. The way you create your habits is the way that you maintain them. So if you are creating habits from a place where it feels really hard, where it's really restrictive, where you feel deprived, where you feel overwhelmed, just think that that's going to have to be the way that you maintain that. We want to pull yourself back. We want to find what works for you. And we want to create habits from belief, from courage and possibility, and from confidence. That's what we do inside Confident Mind and Body. That is what's changing my clients' lives. It's what's changed my life, and it's what can change your life. So what you get inside Confident Mind and Body, I'm not going to tell you that you get like all these bells and whistles, but what you get is a life-changing experience. You get 6 months of coaching. You get 24 individual sessions with me. We meet every week for 45 minutes, and we coach. We coach on what's coming up for you. We celebrate what's working. We identify what's not working. We clear out all of the gunk that's been standing in your way. We shift your mindset. We build on habits that are working for you, and we tweak the things that aren't working so that you never have to start from scratch. It's like you're done with the days of starting over again. We build on what works and we tweak what doesn't work in a simple, manageable, doable way. And I help you through this every step of the way. I am there to support you. You get the 24 calls. You also get unlimited texts and emails. So if a challenge pops up, you can send me a text. My clients have access to me all day, every day. They can send me texts. They can celebrate. They can ask questions. They have access to me readily. It's part of this program. I am there for you because I want you to change your life, and I will do whatever it takes to help you to change your life. But the thing that I know is that I can help you do it simply and effectively without the complications, without the overwhelm, without the quitting on yourself. Okay. You also get access to like a recipe library. I've got lots of different recipes. Prior trainings that I've done, you'll have access to a library with that. Sometimes I create documents. Honestly, I want this to be as simple as possible for you. So I don't create a lot of work for you. Work is not what changes your life. Showing up and getting coached is what changes your life. Okay. And like I said, I'm here to support you every step of the way. From that first consultation call, from this training on, like I'm there to support you. All you need to do is schedule that consultation call, decide that you're ready to change your life, join this program, and it will happen. Okay. So join me. Here's the links. You will have an email in your inbox following this webinar. I'm going to send out the replay later, so you will get the consultation link in there, but it's here. It's just calendly.com/wellness with Abbey H /free consultation. You can visit my website, which is Wellness with Abbey H, or my Instagram is Wellness with Abbey H. Anyway, feel free to just email me. You have my emails from being able to get on this webinar. Just email me and we can set up a time. What I want you to do is continue this momentum. You are here because you believed in yourself enough to join this call and to recognize, like, wait a minute, I've been quitting on myself and I don't want to do it anymore. That's why you're here. Now you want to take that and start to implement it. And Confident Mind and Body is the best way to do that. I say that because I truly believe it. I believe it because I have made the change myself and I see my clients making changes every single week, feeling more confident in themselves, having more energy, feeling better about their bodies, having a ripple effect on their family and their friends and their coworkers and bringing other people along. I think for every woman that I help, that woman goes out and helps 30 plus people. That is my true belief, that one person can have that big of an impact. And so I want you to think about that too. Like, what is the ripple effect in your life? So I know that we went over. I have time. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to drop them in the chat. I know many people had to jump off early. We did go about 20 minutes over. For those of you that are still left on here, I really appreciate you sticking this out. I hope that this was so valuable for you. And more than that, I hope that you take what you learned today and start to implement it. Remember, there is knowledge like that we know, like the logical stuff, like I know this logically, and then there is what we know from applying it to our lives. Okay, so I want you to take this and start applying it. Start applying it with that consultation. Let's dive in and really learn what's standing in your way. Where are you quitting on yourself? And how do we stop that? What is coming up for you? Okay, let's see. I don't see, oh, it was so great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited. I haven't seen your name in so long. It's great to see you. Okay, I don't see any questions. I'm scrolling through the chat. I don't see any from before. This was so great. And I may run this again. I don't know. But I do love this presentation, this whole idea of quitting on yourself. Okay, that is all. I hope to hear from you. It is time to stop quitting on yourself and to change your life. That is all, my friends. Have a great day, and we will talk soon. Bye.